Welcome back, students, to the chapter number 6, that is tissues. And in my previous video, we have discussed about the various type of the simple tissues, and we have studied in detail about the parenchymatous tissue and the collenchymatous tissue. Now today we are going to talk about the sclerenchyma tissue. The third type of the tissue, simple permanent tissue, is the sclerenchyma. As you can very well see, so this is the diagram of the sclerenchyma tissue. Now talking about this, the cells of this tissue are dead cells, and hence this type of the tissue, it is often referred to as the dead tissue. Then the cells are long, elongated, tubular structures. You can very well see that the cells, these are long, elongated, tubular structure. Then talking about the next, the cell walls are thick. Not only thick, they are very, very thick, due to deposition of lignin. As you can see that this shaded portion, this is the cell wall which is made up, thickened up due to large amount of deposition of lignin. Then since the cell walls are very much thickened, therefore the internal space present in the cell is very, very small. The internal space of the cells is very small. Then talking about the next, that this type of the tissue is present in covering of the nuts. You must have seen the covering and the coating of the nuts. They do contain the sclerenchyma tissue. Then you must have seen the husk of the coconut. Okay, the husk of the coconut is again made up of the sclerenchymatous tissue. Husk of coconut. Then you are going to see it around the vascular bundles. Then you are going to see it in the veins of the leaves, etc. The main function of this type of the tissue is to provide mechanical strength to various plant parts. The main function of this tissue is to provide mechanical strength to various plant parts. So this is about the sclerenchymatous tissue, and we have completed up with the simple permanent tissue. Now we are going to talk about the complex permanent tissue in detail. And before continuing with that, we are also going to talk about the general structure of a particular leaf or a particular part of the plant, whether it is a stem or it is the root. So now we can take any plant part, that is either we can take a leaf, Rio leaf, and we are just going to peel off the section and we are going to put it in the saffronin, and after putting in a saffronin for a certain while, we are going to place that piece of the leaf on the glass slide, and then we are going to observe it under the microscope. So when we observe it under the microscope, what the very first thing do we observe is, it is a single layer of flattened cells. This layer of flattened cells is very much often referred to as the epidermis. So this epidermis, it is a protective covering or a protective layer which is present all over the plant body. So you are going to find it everywhere. Epidermis is present all over the plant body. So when we are talking about the epidermis, again I am going to repeat that the cells of this particular layer are flattened cells. Epidermal cells are flattened cells. Clear? Now further, when we are going to talk about the epidermal cells, function of this is, it is protective in function. Okay, that is, it provides protection, it provides a protective covering or a coating to all the plant parts in general. Now sometimes the epidermis is covered with a mucilaginous or gelatinous coating, which further prevents excessive loss of water, Okay, so these are the varied functions of the epidermal cells. Now apart from this, what do we observe? We observe certain minute pores which are dumbbell in shape. We are going to observe these type of the pores that are present in the leaves. Clear? So these are said to be the stomatal pores. These are the guard cells, and these guard cells do contain what? Chloroplast. Okay, so these are the varied structures which are known as the stomata. These are present in plenty amount in the upper layer of the leaves. Clear? And the main function of the stomata, performs the main function of exchange of gases, because the pore is present. So during photosynthesis, that is during the daytime, the carbon dioxide is absorbed from the atmosphere through these pores, and oxygen is given out through these pores. And during the night time, when photosynthesis is not taking place and respiration is taking place, then what happens? Oxygen is absorbed through these pores and carbon dioxide is given out. exchange of gases. Another function is transpiration. Transpiration is a process. It is a process of expulsion or elimination, expulsion of excess amount of water. So this is in general that what you people see whenever you are going to take a cross section of any of the plant parts. Now we are going to move ahead to the complex permanent tissues. So when we are talking about the complex permanent tissues, as I've already told you all that these tissues, these are made up of more than one type of the cells, and they fall up into two categories, that is the xylem and the phloem. Clear? When we are talking about the xylem and the phloem, I am just going to give you all the tabulated differentiation of both these type of the tissues. Xylem, as we are talking about the xylem, it is basically concerned with transport of water and minerals from the roots to the tip of the plant. That is whatever water and minerals, they are absorbed by the roots from the soil, that is carried away and transported from the roots up till the tip of the plant, no matter whatever the height of the plant is. Phloem, it is basically responsible, it is concerned with the transport of food substances from the leaves. As you all know that leaves are the kitchens or the food factories of the plant, from the leaves to various parts of the plant body. Various parts of the plant body. So here I am saying that xylem, they are concerned in transportation from the root till the tip of the plant. That means the root over here is unidirectional in nature. It is transporting the materials only in one direction, that is from the root till the tip of the plant. So it is unidirectional in nature. But leaves, they are going to provide, when we are talking about the phloem, so leaves over here, they are going to provide food to each and every part of the plant body, hence these are bidirectional. Phloem tissue is bidirectional. It is bidirectional in nature. Clear? Now when we are going to talk about the composition of the xylem, xylem consists of, number one, tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. When we are going to talk about the phloem consists of, number one, seed tubes, companion cells, third part, that is phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Phloem fibers, and fourth is phloem parenchyma. So this is all about the plant tissues. We have already talked about in detail about each and every plant tissue. Now in our next video we are just going to talk about the animal tissue in detail. Till then, thank you.